What is going on, guys? Welcome to Amigos Code. Yesterday on my private Facebook group, I've said that I was going to record a series on algorithms, and I've asked which language people prefer. So surprisingly, I've got around 643 people said that they wanted me to record the series with Java. 235 people said JavaScript, and 211 said Python, and then some people said Go, C++, and some other languages, right? So what I decided to do was to kick off this series with bubble sort, and I'm going to show you how to implement it in all those top 3 languages. So Java, JavaScript, and Python. So if you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe, and also smash the like button so I can keep on recording more videos like this. Without further ado, let's go ahead and learn about the bubble sorting algorithm. Alright, so let me teach you exactly how the bubble sort works visually, and then I'm going to show you exactly how to implement it in Java, Python, as well as JavaScript as you guys have requested. So let's say that we have this sequence right here. So 6, 4, 5, 3, 2, and 1. And right here, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those are the indexes. So what the bubble sorting algorithm allows you to do is to sort the entire array from smallest to largest. So let me actually show you how it works. So it starts by looking at the very first index. So right here, you can see that what's going to happen is looking at 6, and then it's going to say whether 6 is bigger than 4. So if that's the case, then it simply swaps it. And then it checks 6 is bigger than 5. Yes. Bigger than 3. Yes. Bigger than 2. Yes. And 6 is also bigger than 1. So then it swaps it. Now at this stage, what happens is it locks down 6 because 6 now is in the right position. So the next time that we go around, so now we need to sort everything again starting from 4. But the next time that we go around, we're going to stop at 1. So the limit will be right here. So at 1, right? So we don't need to sort 6 again. So let me show you visually again. So 4. So is it 4 bigger than 5? No. Is it 5 bigger than 3? Yes. 5 bigger than 2? Yes. 5 bigger than 1? Yes. And then it locks down 5. Now the next time that it goes around, the limit will change to index 3 right here. So let me now sort 4. So 4, is it bigger than 3? Yes. Bigger than 2? Bigger than 1? And then lock it down. Now let's go back. 3 bigger than 2? Yes. 3 bigger than 1? And we're going to log 3. And you can see that the limit, right? So the next time that we go around, we don't have to sort 3, 4, and 5 because they already are in the right position. Now is 2 bigger than 1? Yes. So let's swap it and we are done. So now that you know how it works, let's go ahead and actually implement it in Java first, and then Python, and then JavaScript. All right, so right now I'm inside of IntelliJ, and if you want to learn more about IntelliJ, go ahead and check my website or my YouTube channel where I've got a course teaching you everything about IntelliJ. So also, if you want to grab the source code, feel free to check the GitHub repo with all the examples. So right here, you can see that I've got 3 files. So bubble sort, and this is the Java file. And then we've got the JavaScript and then the Python. So I'm going to show you in those 3 languages as you guys requested. Let's start with the Java one. So if I go back to the actual file, so right here, let's go ahead and create the array that we had previously. So 6, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. So let's simply go ahead and say that we want an array, and right here let's simply call it as array equals 2, and then we want 6, 4, 5, or actually with comma 6, 4, and then 5, and then 3, 2, and then 1. So this is the actual array that we will begin with. Now, what we need to do is, let me first go ahead and create a new method, so called print. And right here, I'm going to simply say arrays dot to string and then pass the actual array. So this allow me to pretty much just basically print the array. So I'm going to create a method down here, and this is simply say system, so south, and then s, just like that, right? Now let's go ahead and start with the actual algorithm. So the way it works is we need a for loop, and this for loop will start with int and then I, right? So we're going to start with I, and I will be equals to 0. Then we also need to know the actual size of the array. So size equals 2 and then array dot length. And next we need to say that I, so we're going to loop while I is less than the size and then -1. So the reason why it's -1, and let me actually put plus here, and I forgot I plus and then curly brackets. So the reason why it's I, or actually this size -1 right here, is because, so the size here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? But with arrays, you start counting from index 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. That's why we do a -1 right here. So what I'm going to do the first instance is actually show you how I'm going to take number 6 and then sort number 6 only. And then I'm going to show you the rest of algorithm to sort every single number in that array. So to swap 6 with 4 and then 6 with 5, so on and so forth. So that 6 ends up in here, right? So 6 will end up here. So let's actually do it. So the way we do it is simply say if, and then right here array, and then I, so this will be 6 in the first instance. If it is bigger than array, and then I plus 1, right? So in our first case will be 6. Is 6 bigger than 4? If that's the case, we're going to swap those two numbers. And the way to do it is simply by saying int, and then we're going to store 6 in a temp variable. So array, and then I, and right here we need to now take the array and then take I, and then right here I'm going to say that this will be equal to array and then I plus and then 1. And now we have to put the temp in the other position, right? So the way we do it is array and then I plus 1 equals to temp. Oops, just like that. And what I'm saying is simply swap 6 with 4, right? And then it will go around and we'll actually swap 6 with 5, and then so on and so forth. And 6 will end up at the end, so right here. So let's actually now print the actual array at the end as well, so you see exactly what is happening. There we go. And if I now run this, you should see that 6 did end up right here at the end, but we only done it for one number, 6, right? But we want to do it for the entire array. So the way we're going to do it is by simply removing, so we're actually going to remove this. I'm going to cut it for now, and we need a inner loop. So this inner loop will look like 4, and then this will be int j equals to 0. And then we're going to say that j is less than, and then size minus, and then 1, and then minus, and then I. So remember the limit that I've spoke about. So this is what this does. And then I need to say j and then plus plus, and there we go. So now I'm going to paste the exact same logic for swapping the two numbers right here, but instead of I right here, I'm going to do it for j, right? Because now J will be every single number in that array. So right here, instead of saying I, I'm going to replace with J, and the same with, so let me actually use some keyboard shortcuts, the same with these two lines. And this is the entire algorithm. Now, if I run it, you can see that now everything is sorted. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if I was to put 0 right here at the end and then run it, you should see that now everything is sorted. So this is how you implement the bubble sort with Java. Now, let me actually remove this because I want to use the original numbers. Now, let's go ahead and implement the exact same logic for JavaScript. So let me go ahead and switch to VsCode. And right here, I've gone ahead and created a bubble sort.js. So I'm going to open that up and let me collapse this. And let's go ahead and simply say const, and this will be the actual array equals 2, and these are the numbers. So let's go ahead and simply say console.log, and then the actual array. And let me remove that so everything will be just like that. And let's go ahead and simply say 4, and it's almost the same as Java. So 4, and then let I equals to 0. And then I is less than array dot, and then length, and then minus 1, right? So it's the same concept here. And then we need, actually we need size as well. So comma, and then size equals to array dot, and then length. And finally, we need to say I and then plus plus, just like that. And this should be semicolon there. There we go. And what we need is also the inner loop. So let's go ahead and simply say 4, and then let, and then J equals to 0, and then J less than size minus 1, and then minus I. So this is the actual limit again, right? So when I showed you the actual diagram or the animation, that's the limit. So each time that we loop through the array, we will stop at the limit. Now let me simply add a semicolon here, and I'm going to say J and then plus plus. Now inside we need to do the actual if statement. So if, and then array, and then I is bigger than array, and then I plus 1, so plus, and then 1. If this is the case, we're going to swap things around. So const, and then temp, tmp equals to array, and then I, and then array, and then I equals to array, and I plus 1. And then we're going to say array I plus 1 equals 2, and then temp. So basically this is the exact same logic, but in JavaScript, because you have asked for it. So now the last thing that we need to do is simply say console.log and then array. So if I save this and open up the terminal, so help and then terminal, there we go. Now let me simply say node and then bubble sort, and make sure you have node installed .js, enter. And I actually got these I's wrong, right? So the same way, so this should be J and not I's, right? So this will be J, just like that. And if I save this, clear the screen, and there we go. So just got confused right here with I and J. So this should be J. So there we go. So you can see that now this is sorted. Now let's go ahead and implement the Python version. So I'm going to open the file there. So for the Python version, Python is actually a little bit more simpler. So let's simply say list. So in Python, we have lists instead of arrays. And right here, let's simply pass all the numbers. there we go. And I'm going to print the actual list. So print list, and then let's go ahead and simply say 4, and then I in range, and the range will start from, so you can see that the documentation for range, so start, stop, and then the step. So the start will be 0, and then we have the length, right? So length, and then of list minus 1. So the same principle applies here. And let's also have an inner for loop, so for, and then j in, and then range, and again we'll start from 0. And it's kind of annoying, the documentation, but so we need also length right here, and this time will be list, right? So length of the list, and this will be minus, oh boy, this is annoying, so minus, and then 1, and then minus I, right? So this is the exact same implementation that we have for JavaScript and Java, but in a different language, semantic. So now the way that we're going to swap things is as follows. So with Python, we can do something like this. So we can have list, and then j, and then comma, list, and then j plus 1 equals 2, and then we're going to simply swap. So list, and then j plus 1, comma, and then list, and then j. And this is how you swap things around with Python. Obviously, you could have the long-winded way, but this is much neater. And finally, let's go ahead and let me simply remove this space right here, and let's simply print, and then list. And this is annoying. There we go. So you can see the implementation of Python is much cleaner, much simpler. And there we go. So now if I save this, open up the terminal, and let me put this bigger. So right here, let me clear that. And I'm going to say Python, and then bubble sort.py, and check this out. There we go. So we have successfully implemented the bubble sort in Java, JavaScript, and Python. So if you have any questions, go ahead and drop me a message and let me know what you thought about, implementing in all these 3 languages. Let me know if I should do it next time for the other algorithms, whether it helps or you want a separate video. But I feel like I just want to show you that programming language is just a tool that allows you to solve problems, nothing else. So this is all for now. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so I can keep on providing content like this, and also give me a thumbs up, because that will really help me in terms of motivation and keep on providing content like this, because I know that you guys are enjoying it. And if you haven't joined the private Facebook group, go ahead and join, because there are lots of students learning how to code and you should be part of it. This is all for now. I'll catch you on the next one.